2, 1. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ACG, where we're just a couple gamers. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your boy Doc.
And we are back with another episode of Godfather. This is episode 125, entitled Godfather Roleplaying? Question mark? We're going to talk about everything that has to do with... Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. We're going to talk about everything that has to do with RPGs, which stands for role-playing games. We're going to talk about the aspects of role-playing. These games that we're playing right now that are apps, they didn't start as apps, obviously. They started, further back, where my love for the mafia genre really took place was years ago, when everything was a text-based game on a website, and role-playing was part of what made me fall in love with the genre, because the whole chain of command and respecting your bosses, and there was rules to the server in the game, and like there was just unspoken agreements, and your trust and loyalty meant everything, and the code of silence. Oh my god, I could go on and on for days. There was so much to the role-playing aspect of the game that it really just drew me in, and it really made up for a lot of the stuff we have now that we didn't have back then, right? Like the world map. You didn't need a world map because you had the role-playing part of the game, which was, you stick inside your family, and it's the whole tribe mentality, and there's a lot of things that the role-playing part of the game made up for that the game was lacking. But we're going to talk about all that soon. Doc, you can either talk about the events or you can talk about whatever the hell you want to, but I just need a minute or two.
He said I just need a minute or two. All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast. Back on a full podcast after our conversation in our previous podcast. I just want to reiterate, I think that was a healthy conversation. I think it needed to be done, and I appreciate and love you for it. I think it makes us stronger. Sometimes brothers do fight, but sometimes when you do fight, there's always a silver lining or a blessing. Now I'm done being all soft. Now, getting back to the logistics of podcast material, okay? Let's talk about events, huh? So, since I quit 30.4, but I'm actually playing 30.4, we'll talk about the events going on around 30.4 right now. It looks like it's Kill Event Week, right? Okay. Well, what we got going on right now. Today is Tuesday, so you're looking at a block event right now. So we got block event going on. What else is happening? I want to say KCL is happening still. I want to say, I could be wrong, but KCL still going on. I don't know if rankings are going to come out for KCL, but I would say this: we should do a pod regarding the rankings regarding KCL. So I'll put that on the to-do list or the idea board. You know what I mean? We got the resource point event. Hey, listen, anybody that's listening that's in a new server right now, okay, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. There's an event called the Treasure Dig event, okay? This event is a cool little event, all right? But there's a pattern to this event, okay? So you have to have a certain amount of axes for you to uncover the memory card type atmosphere. I will say this. Start in the middle and start 4 squares in the middle. After that, work an X around the 4 squares, and you'll get 90% of the time, you'll get the reward that you need to get. Flip all the cards over, gain them, and guess what? You're at it again, fresh, trying to get another new prize. All right? This is a good little event for non-spenders. There's certain prizes that you can get, right, that you do need in your arsenal. There's hobby items you can receive that you may not be able to receive in a regular game itself. So take advantage of that Treasure Dig event, everybody. Also, my event, the investment event, best event in the world. I would donate 1K of gold and literally go invest your tickets and go do certain dailies to get tickets, right? Because here's the thing: when you get tickets and you invest a certain amount of tickets, the rewards coming back are amazing. And hey, listen, I played this game for a minute. I love the investment contest. I mean, event. I know Smooth. I don't know if Smooth likes it, but I know I do.
I love it.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? And especially it works out for the non-spenders because you can get 1,000 gold without spending any money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just by doing your due diligence. So take advantage of the investment contest event. It's a very good event. Tech event's going on right now. It's another 21 hours to go, but it's still going on right now. Take advantage of that. Family challenge event. Let me explain this one to everyone. This event is a good event. Okay, this event right here is wonders. Especially when you're first starting the game and you need stars to boost your troops. Right? So, in this family challenge event, there's 4 categories. In each category, there's a certain resource or certain cash, certain wrench. I want to see, wrench and stars. The stars is in the Caneo family, okay? My suggestion to you, if you're not spending, take advantage of that. Get your dailies done to earn coupons so you can invest into the family challenge event. My suggestion, make sure you have 10 or more coupons. Because when you go against the boss, you want to invest 10 of those coupons each time you go face the boss. Because your star outcome will be nice. Okay? 700 to 1,000 stars for each category for your button bid. So please take advantage of that. Other resources, you're looking at cash, you're looking at oil and wrenches. So, utilize it to the best of your ability. If you don't know, ask your leadership questions. Okay? They should know about the event. All right? What else we got going on? Ornament point event. Listen, anybody that's doing the KCL right now is winning ornaments. Hit. Ornament point event. Ornaments. Okay, we'll just put 2 and 2 together for me, okay? And take advantage of that because this is where you want to do your rings. This is where you want to do you want to get your rings on this. You want to get those ornaments on the side of your guy or your gal, depending on what person you're using, right? And you want to have those ornaments there. You want to get your earrings. You want to get your ring of attack. You know what I mean? And you got to remember these ornaments have different meanings. So make sure you read on what you're building. But because you're building, you can get points, right? All right. Casino point event, very simple. Go to the casino and just do what you do. That's it. And then, So that's it about events. You know what I mean? Also, scale events coming up this weekend. Server wars coming up this weekend for folks. So, y'all know what you need to do. All right? Other than that, those are the events for everybody. Roger that.
I appreciate you like always, Doc. You already know. Thank you so much, Chat Mafia, for coming back to see us. I know we've been busy as hell today on the channel. Also, if you guys have not checked it out already, we got some amazing stuff popping on all platforms right now, including Spotify. You guys definitely want to check out all the hard work that Lethal's put into our Instagram, our X, our everything, guys. All you got to do is click on the Gravatar link, and you can find all of our platforms in the description in the link in the description of this video. God, sorry, tongue twister. But guys, today's episode, 125 of these things, role playing, right? I don't know where some of you guys started playing Mafia games, but I started playing these Mafia games on a website, and the role playing aspect for me was everything. And I think that died out. Do you remember a time when role playing was a much bigger part of Godfather, Doc?
Godfather the game?
Yeah.
That we're playing right now?
Yeah. Like the whole chain of command, the whole, having more respect for your bosses.
Well, yeah. In the past, it was like that. In the past, everybody like played their role. Okay, so let me give you all examples. 17.5, when me and Smooth first started, that family was set up like a mafia family. Like, everybody knew who the boss was. Everybody knew who the boss's lady was because she was R5. Everybody knew who the other R5 was, but everybody played their role. And like, you don't see that nowadays in this new generation of Godfather gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of that has been lost. Some of that, what is that creativity, that imagination, in a sense, it isn't there. A lot of it is different. It's more of, let me see how my credit card can beat you, versus let me see how we can strategize together and beat you and still not waste nobody's money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see. I do see a difference. I will. Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
So when it comes to the whole role-playing aspect of the game, do you think that, and I know you said it was definitely lost to the whole credit card thing, but in my mind, I still see a way back. Like, I still think that we can do things. Like, you remember when we first started this? The first thing we said we were going to do was we were going to stay in character. You remember that? And it lasted for about one episode because it felt like there wasn't enough people involved to make it a cool thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's only a couple people doing it, like, it's not a thing. You have to have all the elements there. Do you think it can be done again?
Yeah, it can. I think it can be done. But I think folks gotta buy into it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, buy into the role that you're in. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game, so let's act like a game. You don't go on Assassin's Creed thinking you're a gangster, do you? Nah, you do that, you're gonna get killed quick, right? You got to come in with some strategy and stuff, right? So I think, and I'm only naming Assassin's Creed because I'm an RPG dude outside of Godfather. Like, I played all the Mafia games on the PlayStation system. You know, I got Assassin's Creed. I play all of them. And you just can't use your credit card thinking packs are going to help you do things. Like, hey, it ain't going to work in the game like that. Like, you have to build up things, and you have to go with the storyline, and you know what I mean? And I think if we can take that type of imagination and bring it back to the Godfather game, I think it could be a cool thing. I mean, let me give you an example. If we was really role playing this game, it wouldn't just be one family when it comes to server war.
Right.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't be. But that just shows you the differences between past servers to now.
Well, with that being said, the role-playing does change a lot of things in the game. Let's say that tomorrow everybody had to do like Grand Theft Auto RP, where you have to stay in character the entire time, right? You got these clowns like the guy who's always in world chat, right? If this was, there would be no there would be trolls, but they would suffer badly, right? Because you're not gonna go walk into a bar, which let's just be honest, that's what world chat is. It's our Godfather bar, right?
It's our social room.
Yeah, our social room, right?
Keep it 100, swear to God.
There's no gangster in his right mind, and do keep in mind, I do mean in his right mind, that would walk into a social club and just start disrespecting the boss of a family or the underboss of a family. Like, how does that aspect change the game?
Okay, you want my honest opinion, or you want me to give you the political correct answer?
Give me both.
Okay, so the political correct answer is, let's take that back a step further. The political correct answer would be families join together, talk about it, and see what needs to be done to take this character out of the game. That's politically correct, right? Because you got to go within the rules. You got to go within the guidelines. Now, RPG role playing, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you establish that creativity, imagination, and you know, let's say you got 5 families, and you know, every family's working, doing their own thing, but the R6s all have a respect and all have a good understanding, and they all want to have a stable server. RPG would have all 5 families go demolish the dude to make sure he don't stay on that server.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the RPG in me. You know what I mean? Because you're playing within the game. You're trying to come in and be a rogue type of person, right? But everybody else is scared of you and they don't know what to do, right? But if you're playing like you're in your role, your R3 should be like, yo, R4, hey, we need to hit up the boss to go talk this out or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're playing that role, but we lost that touch. So,
all right, so let me ask you this.
Right.
We're playing by real Mafia standards. How do kill events work?
If you're playing by real Mafia standards, I mean, kill event should be what the event is. Kill event.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but back in the day, there was a lot more alliances. Like having an alliance with another family was everything, right? Also, even in wars, in certain scenarios, when you're at war, you don't just kill a Don. You got to go through the commission.
Oh, no. Right. Okay.
To sanction hits on made guys, stuff like that.
Okay.
In certain scenarios, only soldiers and lieutenants were hittable.
Okay.
You know, also during wars, certain underbosses and consiglieres and stuff, they would make backdoor deals with the council to, you know, get rid of somebody in their family that maybe was causing an issue, or maybe he was being investigated by the FBI or whatever. Like, what types of things would change in Godfather if you had to abide by these rules? Because if you didn't abide by these rules, you were going to be killed, right?
Yeah. Well, number one, you gotta establish a council.
Right.
You got to have an established council. For anything to work really, everybody got to be on the same page. And what I mean by everybody, those are the R6s, because obviously the R6s and the R5s and maybe an R4 run a council, because sometimes people are off and stuff like that. But if we were to do it in an RPG-ish way, as we say it, like, everything has to go through the council, right? So if someone wanted to go kill another family member from another family, right, you have to go to the 5 families and say, yo, this is what's happening, this is what's up, can we get a hit? And if everybody say, hey, what happens? The hit's done. Now it don't work that way though. And I don't know if I don't ever see it happening that way. Will it be cool if it did? For sure. Most def. But that's the route I would take for kill events. And then come kill event, right? You have a meeting before kill event, so everybody has names of the players that they're gonna hit, right? Because they got approvals, right? And come kill event, everybody that got approved to get hit, they go hit. Sometimes you may hit somebody that may got approved to hit you. Now you got a one-on-one, right? Yep. But that's the creative side of things for kill event. I think that'd be a good little creative way to do it. Make sure, honestly, like, mansion levels ain't stupid different, right? Set up duels that way, but you're doing it in a creative way. You're making it like, bam, and then what you do is you film that meeting, put it on the podcast or put it under the VIP, right? Because if you're under the VIP and you make that payment, right, and you go to the VIP, you'll see who's about to get hit, or you'll hear what's going on in the council, right?
Right.
Because you're right, and that's where that episode 1 came into play, where we started to do script and stuff. But like you said, we kind of shied away from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good little script in right there. Now the question is, could we find a zone that is willing to take on that project? Because it will be a project.
That would be a
first
project.
time ever done. Right, and it'll be a first time to ever be done. Personally, I would say this right now on the podcast, and I'm willing to say it. I would go to 31.2 when it opens, and I would love for everybody that thinks this idea is cool to come join me in 32 and 31.2, and let's see if that can really happen. And what I mean by that is, don't come with the BS. You can shoot talk all you want, be respectful, but let's see if that'll work. Let's see if that'll be cool. Just imagine if you literally have a novella / soap opera of 31.2 being shown on a podcast when the podcast crew was taking the day off or something, or you add it into. Let me be quiet, but you know where I'm going with that, dude.
You were funny. I just found somebody named Melody who's a 500,000 power sitting in the SWB family. SWB family is only like 2.6 mil, and it's just weird because she's like way bigger than everybody else in that family. That family's definitely a dead family. That's strange. Mansion 17.
You said that's strange.
That's very strange. Like, I don't know. Any active... Oh, she's in World Chat. Any active family that wants to accept me. Tell me about your experience in the game.
And you're on live, Melody. Just know.
Yeah, Melody. That's my niece's name.
Welcome.
Yeah, so again, back to the whole role-playing thing.
Right.
I do think that would be a great idea. It would be a really cool social experiment. We got Xena in the house. What's up, Xena? How are you? I would like to also get Chat Mafia's opinion on this. Would it work? Would it work in a server where the whole goal of the server is to make sure that we are abiding by the whole roleplay situation, where we keep it as close to mafia style as possible. The rules that were in the actual mob, we try and make it as close to that as possible within the server. What would that look like? Would it work? Could we get enough players to actually want to participate in this? Xena, what do you think? Headshot, what do you think? I would like to get the opinions of the players here. For me, I would 100% sign up for that. That's something that I think, like Doc said, being the first to try and make it work, it would be so freaking cool to think that in a perfect world, it did work.
Right.
The type of camaraderie, because again, all of this goes back to the tribal mindset, where it's us versus everybody else. You have your loyalty to your family. That is the number one most important thing. Outside of that, like the second most important thing is the loyalty to your friends, right? Taking up for them, always having their back, stuff like that. I always revert back to when Doc and I first teamed up back in the day. We would have so many people talking in line chat at one time. Like everybody's talking over each other. It was like a party on line app chat and calls and shit, like every night. because we had so many people. But even back then, even though it wasn't 100% role play based, there was just it was a different vibe, dude. Everybody, and it's almost like everybody felt it. Almost like the way the 90s, like the way the 90s were so good, and there were so many different things about the 90s that we all enjoyed. That's what it felt like. The 90s of The Godfather. That's what it felt like, that era. And I do think that a lot more role play was involved, and I think that might have been a good part of it. I mean, Family Mail really felt like you were talking to your uppers, you know what I'm saying, like your bosses and stuff, and people kind of leaned into that. In your situation, what type of role play scenario would you like to see?
Robbing a tile. So instead of gathering, you're actually on a tile heist type situation, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I like to see a altercation start between two families. You know what I mean? But like kind of broadcasted in a sense, nothing disrespectful, right? Friendly banter, but at the same time, it's a war game, so you're kind of stirring up some juices. You know what I mean? I would love to see a council facts, like every R6, just discussing the nature of the zone. You know, what we want to do with the zone. And then I would love to see kill event, like I just mentioned. You know, the five bosses at the table discussing, yo, this person been a problem. I think we need to take them out. Hey, Smooth, this is a member that's been an issue, bro. Can we do it? You know what I mean? Little things like that. You feel me? I would love to see it. But I like to see it scripted out, or not even scripted, improv. Because if you script it, you got to play it a certain way. But if you improv it, you're going with the flow, and you're going with the creative juices that are flowing through your mind. I would love to see that. Oh, me.
Yeah, I do wish there was more things that we could do as a family together. Like you're saying, like jobs.
Right.
Because if it was more interactive with each other, it would give it more of a realistic mafia feel for sure. When it comes to, you know, events and stuff, how does the role playing thing kind of come into play? Because we have things like I forget what it's called. We just had it. It was like Invasion or something like that, where you had all those gangs that pop up on your blocks, the different colored ones. You get the little eggs or whatever, and people were like killing each other's bosses and stuff like that, or killing each other's enemies. You would think that would come more into play as well. Like, I see my boss's boss on there. Obviously, I'm not gonna, like, out of respect, I'm not gonna hit my boss's guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, I'm sitting here thinking, like, when it comes to doing server versus server events and just certain events where you really need communication, you really need cooperation, you really need your leaders to be leaders. For instance, we have our KCL and FCL. If it's not for certain people that have that experience and they're going, okay guys, Rex, I need you to do this. Okay, Smooth, I need you to do this. Okay, Swift, I need you. Like, if you don't have that, then it doesn't. Number one, it's going to go to shit. But number two, you don't have that feeling of I'm in a crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants that feeling of being a part of something. So where do you, like, if it was all role play, like, do you see the events being more interesting? Like, how do you see it playing out?
So I was thinking about this while you were talking. So my gears were going in motion. Let me use Purge Event for an example. Okay. Purge Event in a role-playing situation, it would be beautiful because whoever joins Purge, everybody has a cell phone. Okay? Just hear me out. Everybody has a camera on their cell phone, right? You're the digital master.
Yes.
You can edit stuff to make seem like it's real, right? And the key word that you said is, how do you get participation? You didn't say it, but you said it without saying it, right? So think about it like this. Purge event, right? So you set up a meeting with your leadership. Obviously, you want to film it, right? And then what you want to do is, if anybody else lower than your leadership wants to be in that meeting, for example, the boss calls a head meeting at the spot, right? However you do your digital stuff, right? So you come up at the spot. So you have the leadership board, right? And then you have your R3s and R2s and R1s in the background, right? Everybody has a cell phone, right? So what you do is you kind of organize it to where, hey guys, we're going to do a filming of Purge event. The filming is going to explain what Purge event is, right? Going to give you your instructions on what we're going to do in Purge event, right? However you do it, right? And then next, the last part, when you're hitting, you just have people do certain things on the phone, record it, have them send it to you, right? Then you work your magic and you show a Purge event in RPG style.
Ooh, I like that.
You see what I'm saying? And so, because you have to get different. We have to think outside the box. We have technology today with our cell phones that could do things that nobody else thinks it can happen. So Purge event is a good one. Here's another event that's a good one. The casino event, right?
Yeah.
Depending on who does the casino event, you can have it set up to where people are, in certain angles, right? Have certain angles. And you just have people start recording and be like, yo, blah, 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 blah. I'm at the roulette table right now. Whoosh. You don't have to show them the roulette table because the roulette table is in the casino event, right?
True.
It's just the camera angles. You know what I mean? But you're getting everybody involved, right? And now you put this incorporating together, boom. Now you start introducing this to other families. Hey guys, you see what we're doing? Start doing it. See how your family thinks about it. You know what I'm saying? And now you're starting to incorporate other people getting involved. Now a lot of people are participating like, yo, this shit is cool. You know what I mean? And then that's how you develop that 5 family into that setting. So it takes some creative juices, if you know what I mean, to do some RPG. But I mean, we already opened that door. Look at a couple packs that you already did. One with your grandmother, right? Mm-hmm. And then one that we did, right? So we've already, one with Lethal as well, right? So you've already tapped into that. Now let's tap in a little more. Got to go outside that box. So.
Well, when it comes to, ranks in the family,
right,
I think that would change the dynamic 1000. First of all, shout out to Nemesis Ghost. We have a legend in the house right now. Nemesis Ghost, what the hell? Thank you so much for coming in here. I was just looking at the points that you put in, to CL. And also some of the other events. So you are absolutely murdering it right now. Nemesis says, would be good to have more events where players could compete against each other in an open arena. That is 1000% true.
Right. Yeah, I agree. 100%.
What type of open arena aspects would you like to see, Nemesis? Doc, do you or T-Rex, anybody have any other insight into what a Godfather arena would look like? Because you're saying an open arena. In my mind,
like,
I'm thinking,
think about it. Remember the Warriors game?
Yeah.
Warriors come out to play. So you remember the street settings where one group of gangs come from one angle and then the other group of gangs come from another angle?
Yeah.
Something in that nature where it shows that and then it cuts into the world map and that obviously they're not going to update the world map, right? But they can get it to where once that screen pops up, that person is against that person, meaning that family's against that family. They're going head up. There's no, you can't bubble. This is a head up situation. I think the thing that they need to make it clear on that, if it ever does happen that way, which it's just an idea, everybody. But I'm just piggybacking on, I think, what Nemesis Ghost is saying. You regulate mansions when they go against other mansions, right? So you equal out the proportion, right?
Right.
And now it makes people, number one, play the game, right? Number two, it gets people communicating because you're going to have to get ready and prepare yourself for a battle. You understand? And you have to talk.
Right.
So this is like KCL on steroids, right? But so I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does. It definitely does, and I think Nemesis is saying exactly. Rex is saying I'd love to see 3v3s or 5v5s. Yeah, like, okay, so in my head when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking combined operations, right? I would love to see combined operations take place where you're looking straight down at your crew on the street, like you said, you know, Street Fighter style, where you got our guys on one side, the other team on the other, but you can see the capos standing there, right? You can see the troops, that all the different troops, and you know, holding their knives, holding their guns, holding their bombs, right? And you can see the skills that the capos are using at that moment taking place, the effect of those skills. You know, you can see the damage reduction, you can see the health bar, you can see all the different skills have different effects and sounds, and like you can just see the battle of a combined operation. Like, it's different to see it play out, you know, when you're just looking at a regular attack battle report and you hit replay or whatever. But to see a combined operation outside of just numbers, like, dude, that would be so sick, especially when you're talking about teaming up with guys like Nemesis in a KCL or something, where you're teaming up against, like, because me, I'm only a Mansion 25, I only have my capos, you know, to a certain point, but to be able to team up with other people that are from different servers and see their capos and see stuff like that, and which brings me to my next point. He says, do they use skills during cob attacks? No, I think you're right, they don't. But that would be dope if they did, just to be able to see it take place. Good point, Headshot. But further to the point of role-playing, could you imagine if there was role-playing server-wide, and you're talking about server mergers and server wars, what that type of role-play player-on-player interaction would look like, especially in like chats and shit? Like, dude, that would be dope, because now it goes beyond your city. Now you've got to make relationships with players and families from other cities that are much bigger than yours. It almost reminds me of like the Sopranos, where, you know, Tony Soprano, he would he ran his part of Jersey, but he had to adhere to the bosses of New York, which were just much bigger families. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tony was a boss in his own right, but he understood that there was a hierarchy and there was a food chain, and on that food chain he was nowhere near the top, right? What does that look like in your eyes, Doc?
That's you got me thinking. That's crazy. I ain't never thought like that. Give me a second there, boss. Give me a second.
Because you're talking about you're talking about like, okay, soon these families, which are much bigger than mine, maybe, are gonna be in my server. They're gonna be in my city. I'm gonna have to deal with these guys pretty soon. And you know, there's the whole server merging, right? And it's like, you need to be able to make a relationship with these people in order to make it work. and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But with the role playing aspect, you're talking about egos colliding on a different level, because there was just a feeling, even back in the day, there was a feeling of, yo, I'm actually respected. I'm actually responsible for these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times ego is like, yeah, they're a much bigger family, yeah, they have more experience, but do I want my guys taking orders from somebody else? Do I want to take orders from somebody else? Do you think that it makes it harder to make mergers happen, or easier to make mergers happen with role playing being involved?
I think it could be easier to make it happen.
Chat Mafia, I want to know your opinion too. Why do you say
because
easier?
You're playing within the role. Because you're playing within the role. If you go to any Mafia movie and you want a hit to be done, and it could be from a different family, and it was never hard to get the hit done, especially if it was a valid hit. You see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
That's like me going up there and saying, yo, we need to hit this dude because this dude's like punking lower mansions. Like, that's not cool.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's an easy, valid situation to do.
That's very true. Do you think that if the game went completely roleplay based tomorrow, where you would be penalized for not staying in character or doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think the game survives? Do you think we get more players? Do we have less players?
I don't think they should penalize anybody. When I say penalize, I think penalize is a strong word. I think for you to play within the role, it's up to that person's decision to do it, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. Some may fall through that crack, but this is where role playing come into play when you get those that fall in the crack. You know what I mean? Especially if those that are really intrigued by the role play and really want to stay within it. That's an easy attack right there. That's one of those easy attacks. Hey, we got a rogue here. He's not within it. He's playing within. He's playing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about a good rogue player. One that's not with the RPG, but still wants to play. You understand? I'm not talking about them players. I'm talking them other players. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can regulate that, especially if people are willing to role play and really want to have fun with it and really want to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? So,
100%. Well, welcome Rex. Reximus Maximus, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nemesis Ghost says it would be easier because you would need to strategize with each other in game. Very true. That's very true. Good point. Rex, I'm pretty sure you were listening to at least some of this. Where do you stand on the roleplay situation? In your head, if everybody was forced to do it, what type of gaming Godfather world do you see it being, for the better, for the good, and why?
I think it'd probably be a pretty cool, interesting concept. I just don't know if enough people would be interested in actually doing it. It seems to me that over the last, 7 or 8 years or whatever that I've been doing this, that the family dynamic is largely not really there anymore. Most players just kind of lock in, they do their own thing, they're quiet, they don't talk too much, they, like even getting participation in some of the events, like KCL and like FCL and Purge and things like that. It's very difficult in these newer servers because a lot of players they come in, they do their own thing, and they log out, and then that's it. There's not a whole lot of communication. You don't get a lot of responses to family mail and things like that. So I think it's a really cool concept. I think it's going to be really hard to, try to implement something like that.
Well, and what do you think about the experiment? Because we were talking about, trying to do an experiment, you think that we could get enough people involved? Because and the reason I think it would be really cool personally is because if you're talking about role playing for real, the spending aspect doesn't matter, right? Like, you're not logging into that server to spend. You're logging into that server to take on a role where you're having to communicate on multiple levels. So what do you think about that?
Again, it's really good concept. And it's super easy, to break a character and have for the purists and for the people that are really into, the Godfather and the history behind it. I think you're going to have some interest, and I think for others who are just kind of, involved in the game because it's a game and they just like the game itself or whatever. They're not going to bite on it.
Yeah, that's true.
We're more purists. We love the movies. We're into the game. And it's not just, the Godfather movies. It's, Donnie Brasco, and it's Goodfellas. It's like the whole genre. And that's the novelty of the game for us and what keeps us kind of attached to it. Right. But not everybody's going to have that.
That's true. That's very true. Well, guys, we are an hour in. I do think that it was fun to talk about stuff like this. These kind of conversations are my favorite. I have some really important news to break for you guys in the coming days ahead. Some very exciting stuff for ACG. I want to thank my co-host for being here tonight. I want to thank everybody from Chat Mafia for coming out and supporting us. Nemesis Ghost, you're amazing. My dude, thank you so much for coming in. Headshot, Go Away, Queen, Xena, everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are not in the ACG Discord or on any of our other social media platforms, you can find it in the description of the video. Thank you again for FT Games for sponsoring this. And thank you so much to the community as a whole, because we couldn't do what we're doing without you guys. Is there anything you guys want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Thanks for coming by. Hit the like and subscribe button. Also, hit the notification as well. I would love to hear y'all feedback on today's episode, the ideas that we threw out there. Love to hear Chat Mafia's feedback. Love y'all like always. And until next time, yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry I was late. And, thanks for everybody coming out. Again, to Nemesis Ghost, congratulations on CL, the first one in the 30 server there. He wrecked my ass in the top 4, but all good. Look forward to the next one and keep it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, I cannot wait until episode 126. We are working our way towards 200, and we have a lot of awesome stuff coming for you guys. So until next time, y'all, stay safe. God bless. Peace. What you doing over there, Rex? Sound like you're making balloon animals and shit.
Riding in the truck, heading out to go sit somewhere and wait for our asses to get kicked.
Oh, damn. Well, hope it's not too bad.